Welcome back, fellow traveler. I have for you part two in the Universal Studios Island of Adventure Park Ride Guide. That's a mouthful for me. So we'll jump in. If you haven't checked out the first one, I'll have a link, or even you can click on the card above to jump to the other one. This here will cover only the rides on Island of Adventure. The thing that is going to be true and the same as my other review is that I'm not going to give you any spoilers. I'm going to rate this from a 1 to 5 star rating. 1 being that the ride is not good, you should avoid it, and not only should you avoid it, it should be tossed altogether. They should replace it with something else. 5 star is, I should put my 5 fingers in frame, is a ride that you should make a point of going to. Plan your time around this park, around this ride rather, in the park. And really, it's one of the highlights for me if it gets 5 stars. Anything in between, you can kind of get a feeling of where I'm at. I will talk a bit about lineups. I'll talk a bit about the ride experience, sometimes the length. It's going to depend on what the ride meant to me and how it was experienced. Now, you might be wondering, why am I reviewing this? Well, I've been to Universal Studios several times, most recently in March 2017. We're going to start with the Incredible Hulk roller coaster. This thing here is an absolute beast. It's a rough ride, but it's a good ride. Now, if you are sensitive to roller coasters, or maybe you're traveling with young ones, you want to avoid this because it does get a bit rough. It's not the roughest roller coaster, because that one there is in Universal Studios proper, and really it's the Rocket roller coaster. So I wouldn't compare the two because they are very different roller coasters. But if you liked Rocket, you probably will like this one. Not as much of the thrills, but you do have a lot of ups and downs. You go under the ground. It's really cool. Not under the ground, you go under a bridge. I think that actually might have been changed at one point. I think they had it sealed off where you went underground. I think that's what it was like the first time. Regardless, it's a fun experience. I've gone on this multiple times. When I go, we usually go 3 or 4 times and then we move on. One of the things I recommend checking out, I give this a 4 star. It's a solid roller coaster. Something that you'll like if you like roller coasters. Next is Dr. Doom's Fearfall. Now, this is essentially something that you find in carnivals. Nothing is really special about this. To be quite honest, I would like to see them reuse Dr. Doom in some other fashion. This here, if you go to a carnival, you've pretty much experienced this. I'm actually going to give this a 1 star. Don't waste your time with it. Wasn't anything memorable on any of the times I went. If there's maybe a 0 line, maybe go for it. The theme of Doctor Doom is kind of cool, but nothing to say I need to visit this particular ride again. And next we have the Amazing Spider-Man Adventures, or the Adventures of Spider-Man. This here, I'm going to just say it right out, before the Transformers ride came into existence, this was my favorite ride of all time. I love Spider-Man. I've got a big soft spot for Spider-Man and his rogue gallery of villains. There's just something about this. The first time I saw it, I was in love. I was in such awe. My father and I had experienced it together for the first time. Simply put, like, the funnest ride. If you have a comic book fan in your traveling party, you'll want to give this one a go. This one here, though, is really dependent on the actual glasses that you're going to get, because it is a 3D experience. So before you actually move on from the queue, make sure you grab yourself a good pair of 3D glasses. Sometimes they do a good quality check, but sometimes the bad glasses, I might have a scratch on it, or they weren't cleaned properly. We'll get there. And one ride in particular that I went on during this Spider-Man adventure binge that I went on, it made it so it was separated all the characters. I've only experienced it once on probably the 18 or 19 times I've been on this ride, so it's unlikely to happen. So don't hold up the line. They don't need to be pristine glasses. Just make sure when you hold them up into the light, everything's good to go, because you wouldn't want to really ruin this experience. I'm gonna still rate it 5 stars. I still say this is my second favorite ride of all time, right behind Transformers. It's spectacular. I love this ride. I would love for them to maybe update it, refresh, maybe expand on the ride. I don't think that's going to be possible just with the way it's set up. But hey, I'm gonna hope. More than that, though, make time for this. Make time. You're gonna have a good time on this ride. Next is Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls. This one here is one you're going to get wet. So if you're watching this before you're actually at the park or anything, bring an extra pair, an extra t-shirt, underwear, socks, shorts, whatever. If it's a cold day, if it's a hot day, you'll get dry regardless. You're going to get wet. Don't buy the ponchos. That's going to waste your money. You're going to get wet regardless. So be prepared to be wet when you get on this ride. I'm going to say this ride is spectacular. Now, if you're a young person or you're traveling with young people, they're not going to really understand what Dudley Do-Right is. It's even kind of old for me, but I watched it growing up. I watched, Dudley Do-Right, Rocky and Bullwinkle, all the old classics. It's got that charm. The ride's got that charm to it. It's got some great gags. It's got some fear. It's the dip that you will experience is intense. And it's not a spoiler because as you're walking across, you'll hear all the people screaming. You'll see them get splashed. This is another 5-star ride. Guaranteed 5 out of 5. This has got to be my favorite water-related ride ever of anywhere in the world. In terms of rides globally, probably top 5 rides. So you've got my number 2 and number 5 rides that are pretty much side by side. This here, oh man, I love this ride. I can't state it enough. Just know you're going to get wet. The lineups are actually not bad. They're not bad. On a hot day, they're gonna be long though. The lineups are gonna be long, but check it out. Make sure you check out this ride. You're not gonna regret it. Bring extra socks at least. If you're like me, I hate wet socks. Bring extra socks. Next, we have the newest addition to the park, which is Kong Skull Island. It's the 3D ride similar to that of the Transformers ride, The Simpsons, and even Spider-Man. Now, here's the thing. I saw Kong Skull Island after I experienced this ride. So I think that going in like that, I didn't really know what was going on, but you didn't really need to know. Like, there wasn't anything that was plot specific. I liked the difference that this ride has compared to the other ones that I just mentioned. So it's unique. And the ride kind of begins outside. I will say this, I found it really short. I found the ride really, really short. I'm not sure if it's because I got lost in what was happening. I thought it was a quick ride. I'm going to have to go on it a second and third time. Unfortunately, I didn't have that opportunity just because of the wait times when I went. I'm hard pressed to give this a 5-star. I feel like if I wrote it again, I might give it a 5 or 4. I'm going to give it a 3 on initial impressions because I didn't see the movie ahead of time. I didn't know the characters. I thought they might have been pulling from some of the old stuff from the Jack Black King Kong movie, but I'm still gonna say it was entertaining. It was entertaining, just it wasn't long. So keep that in mind. 3 stars is where I'm gonna rate this. I'm gonna update this review when I do go back to Universal Studios, but for the time being, it's a 3-star. I'd say still make time for it. Try it out, see what you think, and let me know what you think in the comments below after you've gone on this. I would love to know your opinion. No spoilers, please, just for the people that might be watching this video afterwards. Now, the next ride, I'm not going to even say it properly. I apologize for any dinosaur enthusiasts, but the Petrodon Flyers, I don't know. I let's pretend it says pterodactyl. Okay, let's just pretend. I know how to say pterodactyl. Or maybe I don't. I don't know. Somebody let me know in the comments. This ride here, I'm not going to go into detail because similar to my Universal Studios review, this is kind of a child's ride. Now, you are up high, so it might scare the children. But if you're going to these parks and you have kids, you're going to go on these regardless because these are, I would say, consider them adult-oriented parks. So when you have a child, you want to kind of go on every ride. My review is not going to matter. And I didn't go on the kid rides because I was making time for the big boy rides. Give it a go. It does look fun. I just didn't want to spend my time in line and on that ride when I could have been, maybe going back to Spider-Man a second or third time. Next, we have Jurassic Park River Adventure. This here, I'm going to preface this by saying it's got a special place in my heart just because of something that happened on the ride with my family. The first time we went, the second time. We went on the first time, and then our second visit to the park, something happened again, and I'm not going to spoil it because it's completely tied to the ride. It just we died of laughter. We still laugh about it. So know that the ride, you can experience these types of moments that can live on with this particular ride. You are on water. You can get wet. You might not get wet. I think a poncho here will save you from getting wet, unlike Ripsaw Falls. This one here is a 5-star. I thoroughly enjoy it. The only thing you need to realize is they do clean water rides from time to time. And I should have mentioned this with the Ripsaw Falls. So you might encounter a visit and the park is and that ride particularly is closed for maintenance. That was the case for us in March 2017. I was devastated. I was so looking forward to jumping on this ride again. Same thing when I first went to Universal Studios and they sold the Jaws ride. That was, cleaning. Just bad timing. Bad timing is what it is. If you have the chance, definitely go on this. 5 stars. I love it. Let's move on to the next one. Next is Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. So this one here is actually pretty interesting. It's a sideways scrolling type of ride. There is a lot of theme to it. So if you've seen the Harry Potter movies and you like the Harry Potter movies, you're going to like this ride. You're going to like the story. Don't carry stuff in your pockets. You're going to lose them because you do get kind of turned, not upside down, but almost upside down. So don't carry anything with you. You're going to lose your stuff. I'm not a big fan of Harry Potter. This ride was still entertaining. It was still an entertaining trip. I would have to say this is probably a 3-star adventure. I liked it. 3 stars isn't bad. I think that somebody who likes Harry Potter might even rate this higher, 4, maybe 5 stars. No, 5 stars is a stretch. 4 stars should be where it lands if you like Harry Potter. Give it a go. I still enjoyed it. Oh, while I'm on Harry Potter, though, you do need to visit a butterbeer stand that is located near this ride. They sell butterbeer. I think it's like $5. Don't get it as a block of ice. Get it as a soda. I love it. If I could get the recipe for butterbeer, I would make this probably year round. I absolutely loved it. It's great. It tastes great. Next is Dragon's Challenge. This was pretty interesting. This is a roller coaster type ride. I would say that you should give this a go. It's fun. It's nothing remarkable. Unlike the other Harry Potter rides at Universal Studios, this isn't really steeped in that much theme. It was a good go, but if the waits are long, you probably want to give this a skip. I'd rate this probably a 2-star ride. Again, it really didn't do anything for me, even though it wasn't. It seemed pretty generic as far as roller coasters go. I would like them to probably do something with this location and maybe spruce it up. Do another Harry Potter ride. That's fine. I don't know. I just wasn't a fan. Now, since we're rounding out the Harry Potter attractions, now I did leave out a few of the spots that you can visit in Harry Potter because they are oriented towards children or just younger people in general. This is where you can also catch the train to go back to Universal Studios. So similar to my review in Universal Studios, where I reviewed King's Cross, this location here, again, it's a train ride to get from point A to point B. It has a bit of lore and it's got a bit of flavor to it. But if the lineup for that is like half an hour, I'm just going to walk the park and go down and loop up to get back into Universal Studios Orlando. I'm not going to waste time. I'm honestly not going to happen. If you like Harry Potter, take the ride. There's no stars to be rated because it's not a ride. It's a train ride. Now, I'm going to blow through these next 2 rides because they're utter trash. I'm not even going to... Yeah, so the first one is the 8th Voyage of Sinbad. It's a 1 star, should be 0, shouldn't exist. Finally, the next one, I'm going to talk a bit longer because I just find it ridiculous. It's the ride Poseidon's Fury. Now, the thing with Poseidon's Fury is it's not a ride as much as it is you walking through a bunch of rooms. And the whole time you're like, man, I would like to sit down. That's the ride, you wanting to sit down. It is by far, no, it's not the worst ride. It's definitely the worst ride in probably Florida. In all of Florida, it is absolutely terrible. They should tear this down right away. Right away. I'm sorry. As much as I love Transformers Spider-Man, I hate this ride. With as much feeling, I hate this ride. I'm calling it a ride. It's not a ride. You're going through rooms. You have a guide who, kind of plays out. And I understand what they were trying to do. And it was okay right up until my feet started hurting. So, I think the second room. Once you're in the second room, you're like, okay, I'm done. I don't need to watch the rest of this, nor do you really care. Now, the effects are really cool. I will say that. The effects are really cool, but it's just you walking through rooms, wanting to sit down. So if you're with somebody who, I have weak feet. I have to sit down like every 5 minutes. It's a big running joke of my family. So that could probably factor in. But again, everybody I know who's ever been on this ride makes fun of it. So definitely not a highlight of the trip. Avoid, 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 avoid at all costs. Now, there are a lot of Dr. Seuss rides. I haven't been on any of them simply because it's one of those situations where I always do both parks in one day. These are kind of kid-oriented rides, so I skip them. I really maximize my time with the rides that I really want to go on. Again, if you're with kids, you're probably going to go on these. They all look really fun. So that's actually a pretty big highlight for me when I look at that. I enjoy walking through the Dr. Seuss area. If maybe when I have kids, I'll bring them and go on these rides finally. But as it stands now, I haven't experienced them. Give them a go. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And that's essentially it. That's the Island of Adventure. There are a good amount of rides here for you to really sink your teeth in. Not only are there a really good amount of rides, there are some great rides. Hulk, Spider-Man, and Ripsaw Falls, Jurassic Park, the River Adventure are all great, great rides. And there's more than just rides to do. Like you have other attractions, stores. There's the exhibition hall for Jurassic Park. They're really cool things to do in Universal Studios and Island of Adventure. I really recommend visiting this park here. I hope the review helped you out, helped steer you into a certain direction, avoid the bad rides like Poseidon's Fury, and just focus your day on the rides that are great. And hopefully you go the same route I do. 2 parks, 1 day with Fast Pass is easily doable. Easily. You're spending a bit of money getting the Fast Pass, but you're saving a day on your vacation by not coming back the next day to one of the other 2 parks and spending more money on that second pass. So there you have it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. In the meantime, you can check out some of my other videos right over here. And if you'd like to subscribe, you can do that right there. It not only helps the channel out, but it lets you know when we upload new content. I'd like to thank you for making me a part of your day. And until next time, safe travels.